Did you know that the Titanic was only discovered because of a top secret military mission? Or that you can actually witness the sunset twice in one day from the same building? Stay tuned, because today we're looking at 30 facts that will change how you see the world, including the surprising reason why the Incredible Hulk was almost gray. Here are 30 incredible facts to make your day. The 1985 discovery of the Titanic was actually a cover for a secret US Navy mission. Dr. Robert Ballard was tasked with finding two lost nuclear submarines, and he was only allowed to search for the Titanic once his primary military mission was complete. The Burj Khalifa in Dubai is so massive that you can actually witness two sunsets in a single day. If you watch the sun go down at ground level and then quickly take the elevator to the top, you can catch the sunset for a second time. In Atochi, Japan, there is a wind phone booth where people go to speak with loved ones lost in the 2011 tsunami. Although the rotary phone isn't connected to anything, thousands of people find comfort in having a one-way conversation with ones they've lost. You might think OMG is modern internet slang, but it was actually first used in 1917. Lord Fisher used the abbreviation in a letter to Winston Churchill to express a surprise at a new order of knighthood decades before the internet existed. High heels weren't originally designed for women. They were made for Persian cavalry soldiers in the 10th century. The heel helped soldiers lock their feet into stirrups, providing much needed stability so they could shoot their bows and arrows more accurately while riding. It sounds strange, but economic recessions can actually improve public health. During these times, traffic fatalities and industrial pollution often decrease, and people typically spend less money on unhealthy habits like smoking and heavy drinking, leading to lower overall mortality rates. Scientific research suggests that starting the school day at 10 a.m. is significantly better for a teenager's health. Because adolescent biological clocks are naturally shifted later, this change leads to better mental health, reduced absenteeism, and much higher academic performance. Broccoli is not a naturally occurring plant that you would find in the wild. It was actually man-made by ancient Romans who used selective breeding on wild cabbage plants over many centuries to eventually create the green vegetable we eat today. When two people laugh together, their brainwaves actually start to synchronize. This neural coupling aligns the speaker and the listener, making them more emotionally attuned to one another and helping to strengthen the social bond between them almost instantly. When mice are sent into space for research, they often start running in fast, repetitive loops around their cages. NASA scientists believe this race tracking behavior is a unique way for the mice to cope with microgravity and find a sense of motion. In 2003, Eminem's Lose Yourself made history as the very first rap song to win the Academy Award for Best Original Song. Eminem was so convinced he wouldn't win that he didn't even attend the ceremony, famously sleeping through the announcement. The phrase, knock on wood, comes from ancient pagan cultures like the Celts, who believed helpful spirits lived inside trees. People would knock on the trunks to rouse the spirits for protection, or to thank them for bringing good luck into their lives. There is a remote spot in the South Pacific Ocean known as Point Nemo that serves as a spacecraft graveyard. Because it is the furthest point from any human landmass, retired satellites and space stations are crashed there safely. If you're ever in South Korea, you might notice the emergency number 113 advertised. This is a specialized hotline created specifically for citizens to report suspected spies or people engaged in subversive activities that might threaten national security. You have definitely seen that metal tool used to measure your feet at the shoe store. But did you know it has a specific name? It's called a Brannock device, named after its inventor Charles Brannock, who patented the design back in 1925. The Incredible Hulk was originally supposed to be gray. However, the printing technology in 1962 made the gray color look inconsistent and blotchy across the pages, so Stan Lee decided to change the character to green to ensure a better, more consistent look. Modern caterpillars don't breathe through their mouths or noses like humans do. Instead, They have tiny holes along the sides of their bodies called spiracles. These openings allow air to enter directly into the respiratory system to keep them oxygenated. In 1994, Jim Carrey achieved a legendary feat no other actor had ever done before. He starred in 3 consecutive #1 box office hits in a single calendar year: Ace Ventura: Pet Detective, The Mask, and Dumb and Dumber. Before you reach the point of actual frostbite, your body goes through an earlier stage called frostnip. This is a mild injury where the skin becomes extremely cold and red, but unlike frostbite, it usually doesn't cause any permanent tissue damage. Off the coast of Mauritius, there is an incredible optical illusion that looks like an underwater waterfall. This is actually caused by sand and silt deposits sliding off a high coastal shelf into the deeper parts of the ocean, creating a stunning visual effect. When commoners in ancient Rome wanted to protest, they didn't just hold signs, they went on a succession. They would evacuate the entire city en masse, leaving the upper classes to hopelessly fend for themselves until their political demands were finally met. Long before it was a popular lemon lime soda, Mountain Dew was actually a slang term for southern moonshine. If you ever feel a powerful urge to stay inside and avoid the outside world, you're experiencing oysterhood. This archaic English word literally means reclusiveness, or having an overwhelming desire to stay at home, much like an oyster stays in its shell. Most people know what a duel is, but a fight between 3 people has its own special name: a truel. Hugging your cat is more than just a sweet gesture. It's actually medically beneficial. Studies show that interacting with cats can significantly reduce stress and anxiety by lowering cortisol levels, making it a great therapy for people dealing with depression or PTSD. Every Bic pen has a tiny hole in the side of its plastic barrel. This isn't a manufacturing mistake. It's there to ensure the air pressure is equal both inside and outside the pen, which helps the ink flow smoothly to the tip. The bowler hat was originally designed in 1849 as a piece of safety equipment. It was created to protect gamekeepers' heads from low-hanging branches while they're riding horses, as traditional top hats were too fragile and easily knocked off. Weird Al Yankovic wrote his famous elemental song Albuquerque as a joke. He intentionally made it as long and rambling as possible just to annoy his listeners, but it ironically became one of the most beloved and popular tracks of his career. Matt Groening named the main character of The Simpsons Bart because it is an anagram of the word brat. His full legal name in the show is Bartholomew Jojo Simpson, but the nickname Bart perfectly captures his rebellious and mischievous personality. Almost every mammal on Earth has exactly 7 vertebrae in its neck, including humans, giraffes, and even whales. There are only 2 rare exceptions to this rule in the entire animal kingdom: the manatee and the sloth. Which of these surprised you the most? Was it the secret mission of the Titanic, or the origin of high heels? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe, as it really helps the channel out. Until next time, stay curious, and you have a great day.